My name is Henryk K. I was born on 22nd November 1925. I served in 3 different armies. I served in the German army, I served in the Polish army, I served in the British army for 33.5 years. I was a deserter from the German army, joined the first Polish Independent Para Brigade, and then from there I joined the British army and served in all different stations like Italy, Japan, Korea, Hong Kong, Cyprus, Malta, and quite a few years in a NATO in Germany. My father was farmer. We worked hard on a farm from 4:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night. Yes, a lot of work was done. And before the war, yes, it wasn't too bad, it was quite good, but 1939 the Germans came across and the trouble started. I got involved in, when the Germans came to our village, they knocked the sign, the name of the village, and there was a Polish eagle on that, and they knocked it down. So me and my friend, we decided we was going to put it, didn't realize the consequences. And we put it up. Next morning the sign was up, something about 200 yards from our home. Father looked out, blooming German was there trying to knock it down again and trying to find out who put it up. My father called Henry, did he take part in that? Oh no, but not, he knew very well. Me and neighbor. Same day they packed me my pajamas on that, and took me in the evening, took me down to the railway station Rynarzewo, Bydgoszcz, Poznań collie, and off to grandma. So I wouldn't be, but they expected they would come and beat me up or do something or even kill me. So I had to leave home, and I stayed away for all the winter till November, till October, end of October I think it was, until till end of March. End of March, grandma was forced off the farm. They was taken to work on a different German farms, and the grandma farm was taken over by German family. And the grandma said quietly, Henry, go run home. Off I went, back home. So I had no option, I had to go home. I got home, I found out my older sister was picked up in the street, taken to Germany, hard labor. The younger one was 12 years, was put to the local German farmer. Our farm was supervised by the German. They called him the Treuhändler. Father wasn't allowed to do what he wanted, but he had to do what the German told him. It was all hush hush. They didn't tell us where he was going, and we were sure he was going to the thing. But next morning we woke up in Koblenz, which was wrong direction. We should have gone Berlin and Poland. So we all was singing away there. I was very happy. Was going into France as a German occupation force. And I was stationed there between Dunkirk and Calais for quite a while. A few months in Lille as security for the German army headquarters there. And then we had the D-Day landing. D-Day landing. They moved us to Saint-Omer. From Saint-Omer we went straight down to Cherbourg. And that was our chance. That was our chance to get away, but it wasn't easy. It was quite complicated. we was against English. We knew we was facing the British troops, and they used to come. We was in a like a trench, 2 or 3 meters deep. On 2 meters, you could drive a horse and cart in that trench there. The situation was not very good. There was no water, there was nothing. The weather was extreme hot. So one day we decided, I had a good friend from Świecko, and we stuck together in training and all the things. So we decided, Paul said, Henry, you go. We saw some trees in something about 300 yards behind us. We said, let's get there, maybe it seemed to go down, maybe there will be some water. So we agreed to both of us to go together. And the observer must have saw us as soon as we got out out our dugout on the south battery, 4 guns, little bit in front of us. Our ear around for weeks after. Big explosion, and we split up. My friend Paul turned to the right and I went to the left. The guns separated as well, 2 guns firing at him and 2 at me, you see. And we managed to, without a scratch, get away into our dugout, but no water. In the end, we managed to get a little bit water in the trench we was hiding away. We went to the left, and it went a little bit lower, and there was, after cow prints, and there was a little bit of water, so we scooped it out and we drank that. Today you wouldn't survive for that. And over there we met 2 Germans, and our chap, there was 5 of us, and we knew what we was doing. And our chap said to the Germans, "Are you coming with us?" So he gave himself away what we was doing. So there was no way back now. We had to go, and quick. The old German wanted to come with us, but the young one definitely no. Now we was in trouble. So we tried to run to the British lines, and we expected to meet face to face with the English. Somehow we got right behind them. There was 5 Poles in the German uniforms, and maybe 10 meters behind them. And they was very busy. They had the binoculars watching the front line, and who was behind them? We could have took him. The Germans would have given us Iron Cross because we would have, but we didn't want to take him. We want they to take us. But it took quite a while, and we tried to whistle on that. We couldn't make a contact with them. The noise was extreme. And one of them picked some pebbles, small pebbles, started throwing. They must have hit one of them in the face or somewhere, and they turned with the gun. But they was quite good because they could easily pull the gun, you see, when they wouldn't be here that day. And they told us, naturally we threw our rifles away then, and they told us to settle down, and one by one, and that was the war over for us. I think 1 week was there in France, under British as a prisoners of war. And then a lot of tanks came across on the ships. They unloaded, I think it was magic, and they was unloaded, and they put us on those ships into England. We landed, now I know where it was Marchwood. It's a British port, army port there in Marchwood near Southampton. We spent 1 or 2 nights over there, and then they put us on a train and off to Yorkshire, German prisoners of war camp. It was there. Over there, Polish officers came, Poles 1 step forward, and we came on that was when we had a short interview. After that, our names were changed. Like tonight, they give us, pick yourself out what you want to call. Tomorrow morning, we're going to put them down. So Kubinski, I give myself Kamiński, and my auntie was Kamiński, so Kamiński. And he looked at me, old captain in administration. Kamiński, we had enough Kamińskis, everybody wants to be Kamiński. What was your mother home name? Rushin, you are Rushin from now on. That's the way, yeah. So the names was changed, place of birth was changed. I was born in Vilna, I never been to Vilna, didn't have no idea. Still remember, they tried to work out something which you could remember, you see. I was born on 22nd, number 22, Ulica Rolna, Vilna. That was my new address. And then he said, right, remember that, otherwise it may cost you life if you don't remember that, if you get mixed up. 1945, 8th of May, the brigade went across to Germany as an Allied occupation force. First we stayed in a place called Kleve, just across from Arnhem. And later on 6 weeks, I think, so after 6 weeks we moved down to the HQ was in a place called Belsenbrück. And we were scattered all around there. Yes, we was quartered in the private German houses there, and we gave them 2 hours to move out. And they wanted to know where they should go. Well, it wasn't interested. They said 2 hours and you are out. We didn't play around with them. And they called us Polish bandits, Polish Banditen. They preferred English or United States. They didn't like us. But somehow after 6 months, when the dust settled down, we got on all right. And even in my case, we carried on for 60 years correspondence with a young lady there. Yes. Yes, we stayed. Our job was in Germany as occupation force. We used to search all the places for ammunition and arms and that, gather it all together. And well, that was our job. We stayed there till 1947, to be exact, for 16th of November. We went back to UK. We joined the Polish Resettlement Corps. We had to sign on for 2 years. On there we went complete under British command then. That was, Polish army was finished. In meantime, in the resettlement, the English recruiting team came around. Churchill said those which served under British command during the war could join the British army, because actually they tried to get ready of us, coal pits, all different jobs. And they said, well, if you want to, you can join the British army. So naturally, no home, no mom, no dad. Hand went up 1 week, and it was me and my friend was in the British army. Signed on for 5 years on 7 reserve. And it worked out all right, because shortly after they sent us to Trieste. Trieste was a free city of Trieste on Venice. And Tito wanted to take over it as his port. And the British and Americans didn't allow, so they put a lot of troops into Trieste. And me and my friend Walter was sent to Trieste, and we stayed there for 5 years. Lovely station, used to work till 1 o'clock. After dinner early, and we used to go swim on that, first class place. Well, and it's finished in 1954. Our 5 years was finished. Was sent back to England to be discharged from the army. And I came to Leicester because my friend was living here, so that's why we came to Leicester. And looking for a job, I was offered as a coach bus driver in Leicester, £3.50 per week. And I used to get £3.50 in the army, and I had a free accommodation and a free everything. So naturally we worked out, army was better than this job in Leicester. So me and my friend jumped on a train off to Aldershot, and when we got to Aldershot, we met our Sergeant Major who was with us in Trieste. He looked at us, Sergeant Major, very important person. He said, what you do there out here? Squeaky voice, looking for a job. Oh, you're looking for a job, come with me. He got forms out, he read our agreement. He said, well, you got another 7 years as a reserve. Do you want to stay for another 7 years? We scratch our heads. Oh, well, yes, okay. So he got the forms out. He filled, our English wasn't too good yet. He filled it all for us. And I think he just signed here, and there we was for another 7 years. We stayed as a permanent staff in Aldershot, place called Borden. And we didn't like it, so we wanted to get out. But we didn't need to worry about. They split us up. They sent me to Japan. Japan was reinforcement depot for Korea. I went to Japan from Southampton, and not like today. You go on a plane on 24 hours. You're there. I traveled 32 days from Southampton to a place called Curie near Hiroshima. That was a transit camp. We got equipped there, and then off to Korea. You had to do 12 months in Korea, and then they sent you somewhere else. You used to get better station. But like any job, when I got used to it. I got promoted to a sergeant, and when the time came up, I went to the office. I said, no. I was quite happy there. I said, I want to stay here. He said, no, you did your 12 months. You're going to Hong Kong. I came there. I had to be retrained because amphibious was at sea. Our trucks, everything was painted battleship grey. And it was retrained. You had to learn semaphore, you had to learn signals, nuts, and thinking everything else. So we got retrained, and I got retrained there too as an amphibious, as a sailor. And I served there for 5 years, and after 5 years they sent me to Germany, NATO. I went back to the ordinary transport then. they had a new amphibious tank, LVT P5, on trials. There was a sergeant who wanted it, and the LCO picked me up. Kubinski didn't have it. But I could have been a spy. That's a the latest equipment, you see. And I had it for 2 years. I was traveling around the UK coast, demonstrating to different people. Even Oxford, University of Oxford, I was trying to get officers for the British Army. Yeah, I was demonstrating the tank over there. Yes. Yeah, and after that, I finished in Devon. I went to NATO in Germany. I went to Tank Transporter Squadron, which had employed 500 Poles, Czechs, all mixed, called Mixed Service Organization, MSO. And my job was as a liaison officer there. Good job. And when I finished over there, they was looking for somebody who speaks English, pidgin English, Polish and German. Again, my hand went up. I went for interview, I got a job. I was extended for another 10 years. On 10 years straight off, my service was finished with the Army, and I was extended for 10 years. And that's why I served in the British Army for 33.5 years. When I finished in Germany as a liaison officer, we had so many, the MSO thingy, there was 500 Poles on all different organizations. I finished with them. I came back to Leicester for the mob. I was discharged from the Army on the 21st of May 1981. And I started to work for AA. We settled down in Leicester. The reason was because our two sons, one of them was in college in Loughborough and one was in Melton Mowbray. That was the reason we settled down in Leicester. But we had a house in Devon as well. Originally was going to Devon, but as the boys was here getting the education here, so we settled down. And we said when they finished education we was going to move to Devon, but we didn't. We settled down and we stayed here. Yes, and I worked for the AA for 8 years, and I retired in 1990, November 1990, when I was 65 years of age. I wanted to carry on, but they said, no, you did your years, I had to go. Today I could carry on working, but they said that, and then they said no. I was on holiday from Italy. I was in the British Army then. I was on a holiday from Trieste. I came, and I was very friendly. Before I finished the Polish Army, I was driver to the Polish priest in Cardiff. And when we went to the British Army, the priest said, well, naturally you'll be getting leave holidays in the Army. You got nowhere to go, come to me. And every so often we used to travel to Leicester, me and my friend, and to visit our friend Dingy. And one day I came across, and father said, oh, they're moving me to Leicester. Good job you came, you're going to take me to Leicester. And that's the way I came to Leicester. And still today I'm still in Leicester. I brought the priest down to Leicester, Polish priest. Naturally, I stayed with him for every holiday I come, and we was very friendly. There was big settlements in Leicester, yes, and we were the SPK, Polish club, Polish combatant club. And there was quite a number. They bought themselves their own house on that. We had quite a big settlement in Leicester. Through the priest, I met everybody here in Leicester. Yeah, and we made friends, and that's the reason we stayed in Leicester. I made quite a number of friends. I even met General Anders here when he came. Priest introduced me to him. Yeah. Oh yeah, the settlement was quite big and quite very interesting settlement here. Quite a number came through Siberia, most of them. Then quite a number came from France. D-Day France brought quite a number of Poles down to England. There was quite a few French, and there was even Americans in our brigade when I joined the Polish Independent Parachute Brigade, General Sazabowski. Yeah, there was a whole mixture we had there.